Hello, and welcome back to a new segment. We are introducing, it's just a really informal version of our normal show, because there is so much crazy shit going on every week that we don't always get to touch on if we're talking about one specific, like, predetermined topic, you know?
Right.
And I think a big part of our mission is to show you guys what's going on in our everyday lives, like, as much as we can, so that you don't have to do the research, but you're still informed. Like, that's kind of a goal of ours. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to bounce around between some topics that have happened in the past couple weeks or so. Hot topics, very informal, mostly just our opinions. We'll say that. Maybe a little bit of, like, conspiracy, too, about what we think's going on. But, yeah, this will just be a little bit of a stripped-down version of our show. No notes, no nothing, just talking.
Just shooting the shit.
Shooting the shit. Maybe that's what we'll call these. Shooting the shit.
Well,
No.
maybe try to help, like, connect some dots on some certain things.
Yeah.
Too.
We like the connecting dots theme of all this. So let's get started, why don't we? This week, or last week, God only knows what day it is anymore, Sam Smith came out on the Grammy stage and was a total fool.
Yeah, well, that
Demonic fool.
that song's already really bad.
Yeah.
Like,
It's just, it sounds devilish.
it does.
You know?
And
Like snakes would sing it.
And I mean, the music video was already pretty bad.
I haven't seen the music video.
I mean, it's an older song, so I mean,
Yeah.
it's already. I mean, it's very seductive,
Yeah.
and the Grammys was not only seductive, but it was very satanic. I mean, look, I've been telling y'all people for years, they are putting it in your face. They're literally putting it in your face every single chance they get that. Everyone that's famous, everyone that you know that's famous, I mean, granted, maybe not athletes, but like as far as influence in any way, whether it's entertainment, music, movies, TV shows, anything like that, news, media, they're all in a cult. Mm-hmm. They're all in this satanic cult. And if you don't join, you don't get in the club. Yeah.
And honestly, I saw a video of Sam Smith, I don't know how long ago it was, back when he was just like, a pretty normal looking, healthy British dude singing his effing lungs out. Like, the man has pipes, and his music used to be so good. I love Sam Smith. Not now. Loved, past tense, because his music was just good, and it was like heartbreak anthems, and like his voice is like just so good. And he's ruined all of that.
Well, he wanted the fame and the money.
Right.
And there's only one way to get the fame and the money.
I mean, he had to have sold his soul at this point.
Yeah, you have to sell your soul.
Especially when you see him go from such a normal British guy to this. I mean, what did he show up in? The red outfit with like the red group of people behind him? And did you see the whole outfit he showed up in?
The Grammys?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Very, very weird. Yeah. And the whole thing is gross. And then attached to that, the song that they sang at the Grammys, he does it with a trans woman, right?
Right.
She won a Grammy. Yeah. And she's now the first trans person to win a Grammy, which of course was this whole fucking hoo-ha show of wokeism and bullshit.
Right. Wokeism. That's a good topic.
Yeah. I wonder if that's an upcoming episode. Yeah. The Grammys is bullshit. I don't even know who watches it anymore, to be honest.
No. In fact, it had like the lowest ratings it's had in like 30 years or something like that. And then whatever outfit that he wore to the Italian music
the Brit Awards. The Brit Awards were today.
Brit Awards, yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, the balloon outfit. Ironically, a balloon outfit. What was distracting everyone in the news last week?
So this is, when we say connecting dots, like this is it. Because we were just talking about this.
Right.
And I said, okay, pause. We can't talk about this too much. I want to have this conversation on the show. So we always talk about if something's happening in the news, there's something else that they're hiding, that they're trying to distract you by, bringing up Sam Smith at the Grammys being all satanic and stuff. Because they'd rather you talk about that idea and that like conspiracy theory rather than what's actually going on.
Mm-hmm.
And that same week, the balloon was happening. Right? The balloon, where did it start in?
I don't remember.
Where was that first one?
I think it was the East Coast.
I'm completely spacing where that first one
I
went.
don't remember.
No,
We'll
anyways.
just pass that part.
Yeah. Like we said, this is not our normal researched episode. But these balloons that just showed up and have been floating across the country. The first one showed up and it took them so long to shoot it down.
Yeah, a few days.
So long.
Yeah.
And so you had said that you thought the balloon was also a cover-up.
A distraction.
Distraction, my bad.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
So that same week, the DOJ announced their official investigation into the Biden family. Not just Hunter, but Joe as well. Mm-hmm. And the crimes that they're being accused of are extortion, money laundering, and human trafficking. And that story was buried with Sam Smith in a balloon. And then the very next event he goes to after his little satanic ritual, he's dressed as a balloon.
Yeah.
So they're literally shoving it in your face that, hey, we control everything. Sam Smith was the focal point of the Grammys because of his satanic ritual that he performed in front of everyone. And all the pedophiles in the audience clapped and cheered, right?
Yeah.
Because they're all part of it too. And then the very next event he goes to, everyone knows the focal point's going to be on him because this is like his comeback and all this other stuff, right? And so they put him in a balloon. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
So then, okay. Oh, the first one was Alaska. That was it. It just came back to me.
No, that was
that the second one?
That was the second one.
There's something in Montana. There's something in Alaska.
That's the third one.
There's something going on in Canada too, because Trudeau came out and talked about the U.S. shooting it down. Anyways,
and why are we using jets? Why are we using F-22s to shoot them down?
That's a question. But then also, if the first one was a distraction, what have these other two been? Why have they popped up too?
So, well, we don't even know if they're balloons, though. That's the thing.
Yes.
The other two things, we don't know if they're balloons.
And I just saw a Republican congresswoman or something. I believe it was from Alaska. She was talking about she was in a top secret meeting, and she kept using the words unidentified object, unidentified flying object,
UFO,
foreign entities.
Yeah.
Foreign entities.
Yeah, but I mean, that could be another country.
But is this a balloon or is this aliens?
I mean, but that's the thing. We don't know what the other two are yet.
No.
Because they just said unidentified flying object. And unidentified flying object doesn't necessarily mean aliens. It just means we don't know what it is. I know, but
still it could be, right?
It could be. I mean, it could
Not
be.
that they'd ever tell us what's actually going on.
If there are aliens, I have two theories on what aliens really are. One, I believe that if there are truly aliens or whatever is in the skies and stuff like that, I believe they're fallen angels. I believe they're demons meant to distract us from looking to heaven. That's the religious belief. The other non-religious belief would be that it is other humans from Earth, from a different dimension on Earth, or a different time. And when I say time travel, I don't mean like what everyone thinks, like, oh, you can go forward and backwards. I think time is irrelevant. And I think what you do is you just stay in the same spot, but you just move everything else around you until you go through that different timeline. So I think all of the different timelines are running parallel to one another, and you kind of just skip across, but you're in the same exact spot.
So in that regard, are you under the belief that there are like 10,000 different realities for every choice or decision that you make?
I don't know.
So I hear that a lot, that like there is a reality in which for every choice you have to make, right? The yes or the no, the left or the right. You may choose the right, but the left is still happening in another reality. on another timeline, another dimension. I don't know what you would want to call that.
I mean, if you want to go into like the parallel universe theory, I would say then yeah, that would probably be the case.
Yeah.
There's infinite different versions of us in different universes,
Exactly.
living different versions of our life
Yes.
simultaneously.
Yes.
But as far as here on our plane, our dimension, whatever you want to call it, and just the different timelines, I think we already have a predestined path.
Mm-hmm.
And not necessarily that we aren't in control of our destiny. I just think the end route is already determined. It's just how do we get there?
Mm-hmm.
What are the decisions we make in life that lead us to this route instead of this route?
Right.
All the different things, because everything does happen for a reason,
Right.
and I truly do believe that.
Yeah.
But I think I don't know. I mean,
But see,
that's a whole deep conversation in
that
itself.
makes me connect the dots back to the Sam Smith thing, and then our belief of, in terms of religion, like life here is a test,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so you are constantly battling evil in the world.
Mm-hmm.
You are being tested, to see if you are going to be one that goes on to the afterlife, the good life, the one
Right.
place we all want to go when we
Right.
leave this earth. So it's a test. And Sam Smith and transgender people and all these sexual things being a test of the devil, of
Right.
evil, of Satan.
Well, the world is Luciferian. I mean,
Right.
that's what the Bible says, right? The world is Luciferian. The devil is the prince of the world. So the world does belong to him.
Mm-hmm.
The goal is to not be here.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
The goal is to do whatever we have to do to make sure we can get off this spot.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the way I look at it is Earth is a prison for your soul.
It's purgatory.
Yeah.
We're the in-between.
It's a prison for your soul.
Yeah.
And what you do while you're here determines your tenure. How long you're going to be here,
Mm-hmm.
right? Are you going to be here, 30 years? You're going to be here 40 years. You're going to be here 200, 300, 400 years because you got to keep doing it all over again because you keep failing,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who knows how many different lifetimes we've gone through at this point.
Right.
And if time is irrelevant, then, I mean, I know it kind of looks like we're heading towards the end times right now, but if you or I to pass away at this moment, who's to say we don't come back as some, Chinese girl back in like the Ying dynasty, back
Yeah.
in something BC.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Well, see, then does that... Oh.
Well, that's the theory of reincarnation then.
Right.
But if time is irrelevant, then your reincarnation doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be reincarnated into the future. I mean, and so there's
Yeah,
actually a
yeah.
theory called the egg. And I think I've told you about
Yeah,
that once,
yep.
where every single soul on this planet is actually the same exact soul.
Mm-hmm.
Every single person that's living here is actually the same exact person. But we have to live every single life experience in order to evolve and move on to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's just a theory. That's
Yeah.
not my theory, but that's just something that I thought was interesting at
Yeah.
one point.
But then that, like, I don't know if this sounds educated or just completely stupid, but if that's the theory of every time you fail, you are reincarnated into a new
Mm-hmm.
life to do it again, figure it out this time, does that negate timelines and science from just God's plan?
Oh, shit.
Because is it a parallel universe? Is it a, second life or, a different dimension if it's purely just reincarnation by a higher being running the show? I don't know.
So, that is if we're all individually our own souls,
Mm-hmm.
right? Then the reincarnation thing is kind of thrown out the window. But if we're all one, then it would make sense why we have to live every single experience in order to elevate and go up, right? To heaven or whatever is waiting for us.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the thing. We don't know what heaven is.
Yeah.
We just don't. I mean, there's parts where people are like, oh, the pearly gates. And then there's parts of the Bible where you got giant angels flying around with giant wings with eyes all over them. You know, I mean, it sounds like a mushroom trip. I'm just saying, or acid trip or whatever. It sounds like a psychedelic trip. And so.
But then if we're also one being, the egg theory.
Right.
Then that would negate the science, timeline, reincarnation, everything.
How so?
Well, science just in general, because if it is like a single human life that is happening over and over and over again simultaneously, like that's, I don't know. I'm like, with that, who would be causing that life to be lived over and over again? Would it be purely based on...
Well, it'd be the higher being.
It would be a religious...
It would be a higher being. So, okay, and it doesn't necessarily have to be religious. I mean, for all we know, we could be a science project in a petri dish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Somebody could be playing The Sims right now.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's...
Hi.
But that's...
The house is on fire. Oh, no.
But that's the thing, right? I grew up going to seminary. I grew up learning theology, all these things. And I'm still very rooted in my Christian belief, but I do still have lots of questions, you know, and there are some things that I'm not getting the answers from any human, at least. And I think for many of us, we're not going to know until we're not here anymore.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the thing. But I do believe that we are definitely in the biblical end times right now. Now, however long that's going to be, whether it's a year, 10 years, 100 years, who knows, right? Because time is irrelevant. Mm-hmm. I think they're really speeding up the process on everything now. I mean, it's blatantly in our face. The whole Balenciaga thing, the Grammys.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole the Epstein files are going to officially be unsealed with all the names involved in there.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
When?
This coming week. Yeah.
So what's going to happen in pop culture this week that covers that up?
I don't know.
We'll be on
but
the lookout.
how much you want to bet not a single arrest is going to be made?
Oh, no way.
Because these are all going to be high-ranking people.
Yeah. No.
Stupid high-ranking people.
There's a reason it's taken them this fucking long to come out with the flight logs in the first place. It's because their asses are grass, you know, when this comes out.
It's everyone. And that's the thing. They are trying to keep from the public that every single famous person you know is a pedophile.
Yeah.
Every single one of them.
Well, and maybe that just goes back to the whole selling your soul thing, in that
they have to.
You have to be this child pedo.
Yeah.
In order to.
But some of them really get into it, man. Some of them
success.
really like it.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks.
I was just going to say Tom Hanks. Yeah. But I think that if, this whole.
Steven Spielberg.
Yeah. I think if the whole selling your soul thing is what's going on, it quite literally changes that person.
Right.
Like, it changes every fiber of their being.
Right.
Because there are you see some of these celebrities, like Katy Perry before and after she really blew up.
Oh, yeah. Oh, she was a good old
They
Christian
go through
girl.
these transformations that are just too much, like way too much.
Because of the satanic rituals that
Yeah.
they have to. And then it's the adrenochrome, right? That, for those of you who don't know what adrenochrome is, it is a drug that is used during satanic rituals that they have to extract from a child after the child has been tortured to maximum adrenaline pumping through their veins, and then they cut them open, remove their adrenaline gland, and make the drug out of that.
Adrenal gland.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. So, and this is how everything's connected. Look at Google's logo. The circle.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 666.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Their web browser is called Chrome. Their graphics processor is called Adreno. They literally put it in your face.
Yeah.
everything is evil. Everything is evil.
Yeah.
And this is why they're trying to normalize pedophilia right now.
Yep.
Calling them maps and all that shit.
Maybe that's why we see angel numbers so much.
Oh, we see angel numbers all the time.
Is
Every single day, 5-6 times a day.
You guys, all the time.
The other day I woke up at 4:44 in the morning.
Yeah.
And then you woke me up at 5:55 in the morning, turn off the heater
Yeah.
because it was getting too hot.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that is, this is really getting deep here, but this is what we're doing, right? Maybe that is like a sign from the goodness in the world, whether that's God or some other higher power, you know, saying like, keep doing what you're doing. Like you're on the right path.
Well, I'm just trying to get a message out. Look, I just want people to open their eyes because we're running out of time. Bottom line, we're running out of time. And I really hope this isn't true, but like I was telling you the other day, I think it's going to be by 2024 that they're really start going with shit, which is why 2023 is already to a fucked up start.
Yeah. Well, and like we were not watching the Grammys. Take that back. When seeing the clips of Sam Smith's performance, they're panning back to the audience full of other celebrities, right? And getting their reactions. And initially they're like, am I supposed to be clapping? What's going on? And then they all just start like erupting in, you know, applause and standing ovation, yada, yada, yada. It's like they know it's wrong, but they know that they don't have a choice but to stand there and cheer it on. It was just a very weird reaction from people.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I think a lot of them are into it, though.
Yeah.
I think a lot of them are just, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Pun intended.
Well, I mean, when you're given everything you want,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah, you're made for life.
You have
I mean,
money,
look at
you
Drake,
have power,
man.
you have
I mean,
fame.
That dude is made for life, right?
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I don't think he's ever written any of his own songs. I really don't. I mean, the guy is a great performer, which is why he is revered as the greatest rapper on the world right now.
Yeah.
Come on, get out of here. But what happened right after Degrassi, and right as he was about to get into his whole hip hop thing, his uncle died. Blood sacrifice. So you either have to do the pedophilia thing or you have to do a blood sacrifice. And there's a lot of other celebrities that someone close to them, whether it's their mom, their dad, their uncle, their aunt, their brother, sister, someone dies.
He's going to court or something, has to testify in, I think it's like excess tenation or somebody's death, that there's new evidence that shows Drake was the one who killed him. I could totally have the person who was murdered off. I don't follow rap or hip hop or whatever you want to call it. I don't know the names of these people. But I saw a headline that was talking about Drake being the new suspect in somebody's murder.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just funny that you said that because I just saw that.
Well,
headline.
so he, we'll just call him Triple X. He actually, like a week or so before his death, released a video basically talking about how fucked up the industry is and all the evil that's in it and the things that they want to do and the things that they try to get you to do and control you and all this other stuff and things they don't want you to say. And so he was saying all the things they don't want him to say.
Yeah.
A week later, he was popped.
Yep. I know, I saw those videos.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting. Very interesting. I just think Hollywood is so screwed up.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's all of it.
It's so evil.
It's all of it.
I think Hollywood is like the number one example of glaring examples. Like it's glaringly obvious what's going on.
Look at every one of those child stars and stuff too.
They're all fucked up.
Every single one of them.
All of them. And
every single one of them. Well, it's because how many people had their way with those kids?
I was I grew up in that era of like Disney Channel, like back when it was like the Jonas Brothers, Miley Cyrus, like that whole takeoff of like the modern day pop star, rock star, like child star period. And I followed those careers for, a lot of my life because I'm about the same age as a lot of them. And they all were really good for a really long time. And then all of a sudden, literally like every one of them has a breakdown at some point. And now they all have mental health issues. They've all been sexually assaulted. They've all had, eating disorders, drug problems, alcohol problems. It's every single one of them. Addiction. And then you hear them talking about being sexually assaulted. Or Jeanette McCurdy was, again, sexually assaulted, but also grew up in a horrible, horrible house. And her mom put her into show business and was just nuts. But like, it's clearly evil.
Well, I think the reason why like you said, they were all good in the beginning, is because reality didn't set in yet. Mm-hmm. The horrible things that were happening to them. You know what I mean?
Maybe there's like an initiation point also. Like, they don't start off the bat like, all right, kids, get in here. We're going to do bad things to you.
Right.
They get them comfortable.
Right.
They show them, hey, we're here to protect you. This is your life. We're going to make you amazing. You're going to be so famous and have so much money. And then as they get into it and they get comfortable with these people and things start happening, they're like, but it's just because we care so much and we want you to have a great career. This is for the better of everything.
Right.
It's conditioning. It's definitely like an overtime kind of thing.
Grooming.
Yes. Yep.
And what have we been talking about a lot lately? Groomers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the sickest thing about groomer culture and the acceptance of it is the fact that like you can't use the word pedo on Twitter or Instagram anywhere without being like flagged.
I say it anyway.
For calling, I know, but like you are calling someone out who has disgusting intentions with a child. Mm-hmm. And you don't want to offend them.
Yeah.
Of all the people on my list that I don't care about offending, it's those people.
I got a knife that will offend their balls.
Yeah. Yeah, right off. Clean off. It's becoming, they're trying to make it so
Well, I mean, some
normal.
of them might want that nowadays.
Probably.
I'm just saying.
Kids aren't enough. They need something more exciting now.
Yeah.
No, it's so sick, and it's just trying to be normalized when they talk about minor attracted peoples.
Yeah, maps,
Yeah.
Yeah. Pedos. Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
The woman, trans woman, sorry, I'm not going to call her a woman because she's not a woman. The trans thing that came out in, what was that? Where were they? It was some like backwards city, some backwards state. Remember the one in the pink dress sweater thing with the really bad wig and the makeup that was all over the place, talking about why her 2 trans children couldn't get their operations.
Yeah.
Where was that?
I don't remember.
It was like Nebraska or somewhere weird.
Remember. But it was okay. It was a big old fat dude with a wig.
Yes. And like red lipstick smeared all.
And I'm trans and my 2 kids are trans. Wow, man, you hit the jackpot.
Yeah.
And 7% of the whole entire gay community.
Right.
How much of that 7% is trans?
Very little.
Okay, so 1% of the
Very
7%, right? And you got 3 in one household.
Yeah, my ass.
Wow. Yeah, that's called grooming. You're grooming your kid to be trans.
Yes. My other question though, how hard is it to figure out how to put makeup on your face? All these trans women have no excuse. You know how many tutorials there are online? You know, if a 12-year-old can put on makeup, they need to figure it out too. It's a disgrace to women.
So, like I said in the Art Alphabet community one, why aren't we evaluating these people's psychological?
Oh my God.
You know, I mean, look, 10 years ago, we would have been locking these people up in a padded room.
Absolutely.
And now we're glorifying them.
Yeah. Putting them on a pedestal and parading them in front of children.
Right.
Not just glorifying, parading.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so weird and just you don't wake up in the morning looking like that and go, I'm a woman. Like it's no. It is so much mental illness.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Well, so with that too, I think the mental illness as well is on society as a whole. And like you were just saying, look in the mirror and like, ooh, I'm a beautiful woman, right? That'd be like me waking up, throwing on a wig, and like, man, I'm a fucking sexy female. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, you know?
Baby.
Baby,
No.
yeah, I'm gonna assault myself. but okay, but the delusion is on society as a whole, and it's 100% to do with social media. It's the vanity delusion.
Yeah.
Every single, like, we were watching that video the other day, and it was this guy, and he had a room full of girls, and he was asking them, okay, rate yourself based on looks. And every single female, 10, 10, 10, 10. And the most attractive girl in the group was like 6. It's the delusion.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks they're a god or a goddess. That's why everyone's going around saying queen, king, all this bullshit. First of all, look, I think highly of myself, but I'm also realistic, right? You know what I mean? Like my face is a 10, okay? But the rest of me, it could use some work. I'm just saying. Anyway. But like, the insanity is everyone thinks they're hot shit. And this is why, like, obesity is being glorified.
Yeah.
Right? Like Lizzo, 300 pounds.
I know.
300 pounds.
It's literally your
That's
hell.
like a baby whale.
Yeah. He thought it was as heavy as a smart car when we Googled it earlier. And I looked up a smart car's weight. It's like 2,300 pounds.
I can tip over a smart car, so
you could tip over Lizzo.
I don't
Easy.
know, man. I
Easy.
think she's more grounded somehow. I don't know.
The gravitational pull is
Yeah,
greater.
yeah. Yeah, I can't sit there and rock her until she tips over.
But here's another.
Or I'll just go cow tipping.
Yeah, cow tipping with Lizzo. Moo. Well, yeah, that'd be really good.
Yep.
In her spandex line.
Oh, yeah. Wait for the hateful
hot.
comments on that one. Oh, yeah.
It goes back again, connecting more dots to everything being evil. So think about how many times in life, and especially the last 10 years, that you have heard like, go queen, like, get 'em girl, the world is yours, like, you're a 10 out of 10 always, don't let anyone tell you otherwise, like,
right.
be, take care of yourself, think about yourself, do everything for you. I understand self-help, self-care, taking care of yourself, just in general, like, loving yourself, being confident. Yes.
But they're promoting
Important.
self-worship.
Yes, the issue is that they are creating this super, super toxic trait of selfishness, of I, me. And that is something of the devil.
Yeah, that's
Vanity.
like the number one thing that Luciferians live by.
Yes.
Satan worshippers, or
Yes.
not Satan worshippers, Satanists, is they worship themselves.
Yes.
That's their number one thing, is they worship themselves.
Yep.
And so that's what they're, through social media, that's what they're doing. And look, social media was 100% planned in the sense of using it as a tool, right? And what I mean by that is it's two main things. One, to do everything that we just talked about, to make everyone vain and self-absorbed and worship themselves and chasing clout and all this other stuff. And the other one, we're spying on ourselves.
Yeah.
Checking into place.
Yep.
Take a picture.
Yep.
Oh, look, I'm checking into here. Da-da-da. This is where I'm at.
Yeah.
Hey, NSA.
Yeah,
This is what I'm doing.
We're giving them everything they'd ever
Right.
want without the masking.
Right, willfully.
Yes.
On a silver fucking platter.
And it's,
Every single one of these phones is like an ankle monitor. Every single one.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
We're
even
tagged.
worse is that it listens to us and then promotes things
Oh, yeah.
and things we like based on our patterns as human beings.
Yeah.
And then we buy the stuff they promote.
Yeah. Based on conversations that we have.
Yes.
Yeah. So you never notice you're talking about something, then you go to Google and it's like the first thing you find.
Well, here's another really another scary thing I learned a while ago. Live photos, right? Live photos are great. I love live photos on iPhone. It's really cool, honestly. And then you can take the live photo and turn it into a video clip. cool for memories. What you don't think about it is that 3 seconds before the video and 3 seconds before the photo and 3 seconds after the photo are what is the data that's collected.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that it has been recording on your phone even before you hit that button. Mm-hmm. So it's recording the whole time.
It's constantly recording.
Yeah. If it's getting what's coming before you even open your camera up and hit that button. Because I can open my camera up, go, hit the button real quick. It would have those 3 seconds before I open the camera. Like it's weird. And then it also captures audio.
Recording. And that's because of the Patriot Act after 9/11 that Bush signed in.
Yeah.
Which gives the NSA power to spy on every single U.S. citizen. Yep. Which is why Verizon, AT&T, all the major networks sell all the data to the NSA, FBI, and CIA.
Yep. All in the name of protecting us. And that came up too recently.
1984.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're here.
And this connects recently to some Twitter hearings that they had revolving the FBI's involvement in, suffocating, I can't think of the word, tampering down the Hunter Biden laptop story from the Washington Post, obscuring that. And what's really bad is that there are proper ways for the FBI to get personal information of ours from social media platforms, from all these people that collect our data, right? There are ways for them to obtain that data, that information legally.
Right.
What they found out during these hearings recently was that they were giving information to the FBI in ways that were not legal. They were skipping the legal process and just pulling the data they wanted to. And Twitter was completely doing it. Just, yep, here it is.
Well, not just that.
The FBI is asking.
The FBI was also telling Twitter what accounts to flag, what accounts to suspend, and everything else. What's her name?
Lauren Boebert.
Yeah, Boebert. Where she was saying the revolving door, like you were saying, of FBI agents that keep going to work at Twitter.
She said, I don't know where,
the Twitter begins and FBI. Or no, where Twitter ends and FBI begins. Yeah. Because it's just, there's so many people that work at the FBI that were at Twitter.
Exactly.
And same thing with the CIA. They weren't mentioning it in the hearing, but it was in the Twitter files. It was the CIA, DHS, and FBI all working with Twitter.
Yeah. And if they're working with Twitter, they're working with Facebook.
Twitter was also working with the Biden campaign.
Oh, yeah. They all are. That's the thing. It's not just Twitter doing it. Facebook does it. Yeah. Mark Zuckerberg came out and admitted it on Rogan's podcast.
Yeah, Joe Biden's a CIA plant.
Yeah. Another topic we wanted to talk about. The State of the Union happened this week, which is this really usually boring speech that the president gives. They stand there for
hours. I watched all the Trump ones.
I did too. It's something you watch though if you're into politics. Like I would never expect people not into it to watch it. Like I was watching it, I was rooting for Trump. Like every time he'd be like, "This man, we're giving the Purple Heart and a warning," blah blah blah. You're like, "Fuck yeah, man! Oh my God, America!" This Biden one, we didn't watch at all. I saw some clips online after the fact, but it's astounding how he just stands there and lies.
Oh, yeah. Every single word that came out of his mouth was a lie.
He's like, the Republicans are trying to cut off Social Security, cut off your Medicare, Medicaid, whatever the fuck it is nowadays.
And they called him out on it.
And
they called him a liar. It's
not true. And they keep talking about it. Now it's
and he's like, well, maybe not all of you, but some of you. And they're like, no, you're a liar. And he's like, okay, well, there's one or two of you. What?
But that's a talking point on the left now. Right. Is how the Republicans are trying to stop Social Security.
Okay.
It's not even a thing.
And that's why I've been reposting that clip of Biden over and over and over on the Senate floor saying, we need to cut Social Security. We need to cut Medicare.
Well, and the fact is we do.
Because he's been pushing it for decades.
Yeah. The fact is that our system has been so screwed up in regards to Social Security and Medicare and all that. Yeah. Like, by the time I get to retirement, I'm not retiring because
it's all but gone anyway.
The average life expectancy is 80 now in the U.S. People need to be working longer. Mm-hmm. What's retirement age? 55?
It's 60, 65. Yeah.
That's 20, 25 years of not working. Like, my dad is 60. He'll be 61 in a couple months. That man should be working for another 20 years. He's young. Right. 60 is not what 60 was 100 years ago.
Right. I don't know. And maybe it's just because I've never collected Social Security because I'm not old enough, but I'm not in favor of Social Security. Instead of Social Security, why isn't everyone putting that in their own 401k?
Yeah. You should be working for your retirement.
Why am I paying for someone else's retirement?
Right.
That I'm not going to receive any.
No. And they're probably not going to see it either at this rate.
No.
I don't get that. I don't know why.
I was telling you, I get like a third of my checks taken out because of everything.
Yep.
Social Security and Medicare.
And we're never going to see it. So we are paying for people now. It's just there's so many resources in this country that we could be utilizing instead of making ourselves pay for each other upon retirement age.
Well, how about our tax dollars, which are theft anyway?
Yes.
Actually go to the crap that it's supposed to go to.
Yep.
Rather than our fucking politicians' pockets.
Yeah.
Why does Nancy Pelosi live in a $6 million house when she makes $200,000 a year? Why are all these politicians that become senators and Congress people are damn near broke or have... Dude, I saw something the other day. Some fucking Uber driver is now a state representative. Bullshit. It's like AOC. She was, a bartender? Bartender.
Yeah.
And now she's worth millions?
Yeah.
How is that possible if she's making less than $200,000 a year? Yeah. It's extortion. They are stealing your money, and you are... NPCs piss me off.
I know. And even if you weren't even thinking about the sources of taxes, I saw this recently, and it reminded me, oh my God. You guys, think about how much is taken out of every one of your paychecks for federal and then state taxes, okay? You get that chunk taken out. And then you go to the grocery store, and now you're paying a sales tax on everything you buy. And then you go and buy gas. You go and buy a car. You buy a home. Tax. So our money that we work for is taxed. Everything we pay for is taxed. By the end of it, it seems like 50% of our incomes nowadays go out of our pockets.
Through tax.
Yes. And then what are the taxes spent on? Sending now like tanks and things to Ukraine? Why?
Right.
Why are we doing that?
Because they're trying to kill the dollar.
Yeah.
Or
every homeless person has a phone.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah. And okay, that's the craziest thing to me too. And I know I say that a lot. There's a lot of craziest things to me. but like I see homeless people, and there are some homeless people that look like homeless people. Like they look like they haven't showered in months, and they're wearing the same outfit and all this other stuff. But then there's other ones that I see in brand new Air Forces with iPhones walking around. How the hell do you have that shit? If you're homeless, how the hell do you have that? And if those brand new Air Forces are the only pairs you got, why the hell didn't you go sell them for a couple $100 or $100 or whatever you could get for them? Go buy a cheap pair of $20 fucking pair of sneakers at Walmart, and then now you got money to survive a little bit.
Because that would mean they're actually doing something to better themselves. Yeah.
Like I said, I think the whole simulation theory, right? Like I was telling you the other day, I was sitting there and I was talking to Brian, right? And this guy riding his bike just stops. No one else in the parking lot.
That's so weird.
Just stops and just hurls for 3 straight minutes. Just chunks. More disgusting. It wasn't there a couple hours later. The birds made sure of that.
Oh, yum. Delicious. Ooh.
But that's what I mean. Okay, and then also, was it today or yesterday? I don't remember. But I was talking to Brian. Same spot in the parking lot. 2 people are walking by. And you know what? The guy realizes he's got to do something with his shoe and sit down on the curb and take his shoe off and like readjust and everything right there. This is a long ass street this parking lot's on.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many places to stop,
Yeah.
but all of these people always stop right there.
Yeah. There's another really weird video that's making the rounds right now where the plane is just stopped frozen in the sky above the car. Have you seen that?
Mm-mm.
I'll have to find it for
But
you.
I mean, there's tons of CGI.
Yeah, but something about this is different. You'd have to see it. It's very odd. I saw another TikTok today too, though. There's just, I don't know who we are.
I think there's
what we are.
glitches.
Yeah.
I think there's glitches for sure.
100%.
Yeah.
A couple other things that were very interesting recently. The Harry Potter Legacy, I think is the name of it. Harry Potter Legacy is the game.
Yeah.
Any idea? So they put out this.
I was never a big Harry Potter fan.
They put out this new game. We don't play, obviously. Put out this new Harry Potter game, and not everybody. The woke leftist annoying people are pissed because there is a player in the game who is trans, but it's a non-playable character, an NPC. Mm-hmm. So you can't actually log into the game and play as the trans character.
Very fitting.
Very funny.
I think it's fitting.
I think it's funny too. Because that's J.K. Rowling in my brain. If she was the one who made this happen, I think it's hilarious because they were trying to cancel her for being against trans people and being transphobic and yada, yada, yada.
And she's like, okay, I'll put a trans person in the game, but it's going to be an NPC.
Like, you guys are so stupid. You know how much power J.K. Rowling has? Like, as many people are mad at her for this, 10,000 times more people still love her or love her more now that this game is out.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Well, there's people that like her now just because.
Right.
Of that.
I gain a ton of respect. Even if she didn't do the NPC thing on purpose, I'm hoping she did. I think she's awesome. You know, like, that's really funny. And it's great. And
I'll raise a glass to her if she did it on purpose.
Right. But it's very funny because, I don't know, people are boycotting it, and you go woke, you go broke. We have a whole episode we want to do about that because
wokeism.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is everyone's too soft. That's the problem. Everyone's too soft nowadays. Everyone is looking for a reason to be a victim. Everyone is looking for a reason to cancel someone and all this. Look, first of all, I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? If you keep pushing a certain agenda onto people, and a vast majority of the people do not like that agenda, eventually those people are going to stop playing nice.
Yeah.
And I'm way past that point.
Yeah.
I'm not playing nice anymore. I don't care. Look, I'm not going to be mean. I'm not going to be a dick.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to sugarcoat anything or step on eggshells anymore, because it's getting to the point where it is becoming detrimental to society. I mean, it really is. And we have to do something.
And I think that all this woke shit goes back to the fact that everybody thinks how they feel and the things that they perceive the world as and everything, you know, it revolves around them. Because in order to be a woke person, you have to believe that everybody else around you cares what you think. You know, like you have to care that I misuse your pronouns, or, you know, I'm supposed to care that you're offended that this character is non-playable, even though it's a trans character, and now you don't feel represented in a video game.
If you're upset
Get over it.
about that character being non-playable, I have a newsflash for you. You are non-playable.
Yeah. But again, that takes you back to the me centralized you persona and thinking habits of I am the center of everything. Everybody should care about what I'm offended by.
Yeah.
More ways of evil, Luciferian ideologies in people's brain.
Yeah.
Wokeism.
Yeah, wokeism.
They now force everybody to care about who they are and how they feel.
No, I don't care.
As opposed to the truth.
I don't care.
No.
I don't care.
No.
You want to be a bitch, go be a bitch.
Yeah. Right. So the last thing that's happening right now, this is probably the most far out thing. We really don't have much info here, but it's a very interesting idea.
I
Right
read
now
like 2 headlines.
What'd you say?
I said I read like 2 headlines on the topic.
I know. We are fully in advance telling you this. But there are some crazy, tragic earthquakes happening in Turkey right now. I know I've seen a ton of videos of like babies being born in the rubble and like mom dying and they're carrying the baby out. The videos of the buildings just falling are like nuts. But
they look like demolition.
Yeah.
Without the explosions.
Right. Just the building just falls like out of nowhere. But then again, you got to question like in Turkey, do they have as good building standards? I don't know how developed they are as a country, to be honest. Anyways,
it looked decent enough.
Yeah. What's funny though about all this was when this happened, there was something in me that was like, okay, but is this actually an earthquake? Like, do we actually have natural disasters like this? Like, it's just something in my brain was like, question everything. Like, what is this earthquake? You know, do we have manufactured weather? Just weird thoughts going through the brain because you got to question it all. And then you read a headline.
So the Turkish government is, and their own news stations is saying that it is HARP is behind these earthquakes. If you don't know what HARP is a...
What does it stand for officially? Let's look this up real quick. I know it's like 18 letters long.
HAARP.
Yep. HAARP. High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program.
Yeah. So basically what it does is it sends out these
jointly
frequencies.
Funded by the Air Force, the Navy, and the University of Alaska Fairbanks, and the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. Just saying.
Okay, so it basically sends out these magnetic pulses, these magnetic frequencies, right? And it can control the weather. The Air Force and the U.S. government trying to control the weather dates back all the way to World War II. They would do these basically like cloud screens, and what they were trying to do is, like, if their Navy was out there and they had some ships and they were fighting some other ships and that ship was in trouble or whatever, they would put a whole cloud screen in between, and so the enemy ships couldn't see them, which would give them a chance to run away, right? After different things that they were doing, they realized that they can actually alter the weather and create different types of storms and different kinds of environments and actually control it. So they can control hurricanes, they can control tornadoes, they can control all these things with these magnetic pulses that they send out. Now, how are they controlling the weather with these magnetic pulses? Notice all the shit they spray in the sky?
Yeah.
That's chemtrails. That's got aluminum in it, that's got metals in it. First of all, we inhale that stuff, it gives us Alzheimer's.
Yep.
They've been spraying that shit, Alzheimer's has been going up, right? But they can also control the weather. Now, as far as the earthquakes are concerned with HARP, there's so much magnetic pulse in the ground, right? And if they can control that and if they can alter that, then it is enough to bring buildings down at a time and all that. There was a hurricane that hit the Philippines a few years ago. And if you watch the trajectory of this hurricane, it goes over the Philippines, does a U-turn, and goes back over the Philippines.
Weird.
Hurricanes don't do U-turns.
Well, it also begs me to ask the question of the hurricanes in Florida. How long before the midterms? It wasn't very long.
It was like a week before.
Right, because I remember them saying Ron DeSantis just went through this big hurricane, and he still had his votes counted by, 10 p.m.
Right.
So I'm like, was that one final test to try and knock Ron DeSantis off of his platform there in Florida? Let's see if he fucks this one up, and if he does, people won't want to elect him again.
Yeah.
Then he won't be able to run for president.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was a thought I just had that was curious. Yeah. But with Turkey, if it was HARP, why are we targeting Turkey?
It's just depopulation. It's Turkey's turn.
Yeah, it's Turkey's turn.
I mean, but Haiti was hit with the hurricane. Clinton Foundation raised like $40 million. And then representatives in Haiti said that from the Clinton Foundation, they only received like 1.4.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Clintons kept the rest.
Yeah.
Which is what they always do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I think we covered a lot of ground.
Yeah.
Lots of topics. But yet again, they all connect.
Yeah.
It's all cyclical. I was going to say secular.
Yeah.
Circular.
Testicular.
Testicular.
It's all testicular. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's all connected. It's all evil. And this is kind of like what I was saying to you earlier. How much of the storyline of the Hunger Games do you think is true in real life? Because, I mean, look how these people dress in these high fashion shows and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same way these people dress in the Hunger Games and the upper class and all that. And so is it truly separated like that, where it's the quote unquote normal people and then the elites, those on top?
Mm-hmm.
I think it is. And I just think we've never realized it until it's becoming more abundantly obvious.
Yeah. Or it's not, because people are idiots that need to wake the fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of stupid people out there that wake up. They need to wake up. And a lot of people are going to watch this and be like, no, look, if you do that, you need
You're
to do
asleep.
research. Right.
Yeah, you need this more than anyone.
Yeah, if you disagree with kind of our viewpoints, and we're not saying like we're always right, but we're definitely onto some shit.
There's a reason why every single topic we just talked about in the last hour and 7 minutes connects.
Yeah.
How we said satanic in the beginning, which led us down 3 rabbit holes, which led us back to the Grammys and Sam Smith.
Right.
You know, like it all goes around.
No.
And if you just listened and believed it a little bit.
Yeah, well, they're programmed not to.
Well, and it terrifies them to think of an alternative as to what is just being shown.
Well, that's like my whole thing with the echo chamber, right? Nobody wants to hear anything different than their current mindset because it completely shatters their reality. I'm all about shattering reality. I love shattering reality. Like, if you can change my reality with some truth, I am all about it.
Yeah. All right. Well, on that note, these headphones are killing my head, so I think it's time to go.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for tuning in. I am leaving all of our social handles in the description box, even though I'm pretty sure you're probably coming here to listen from social media. But go and follow us. Go and like some stuff. The support is always awesome, considering we're getting shadow banned everywhere all the time for having opinions that people don't want us to talk about. So
conversations that need to be had. And look, we are 100% open for dialogue.
Yeah.
We are 100% open for dialogue if it's in a constructive manner.
Intelligent dialogue.
It has to be in a constructive manner. It can't be blah, 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 liberal talking point this, blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to deal with it.
Nope. We just won't entertain that kind of stuff. So.
But, I mean, if you want to hear us out and you want us to hear you out and you actually have a meaningful message, I mean, we're always down to have the dialogue. But that's the problem. Nobody wants to have the dialogue because too many people are way too set in their ways. Yeah,
because they all end their friggin' comments
self-worship.
LOL.
Yeah. Laugh out loud. 42. I'm just kidding. It's the answer to life, 42.
These bots. So yes, thank you. All right. We'll see you guys next week or the week after at some point. Yeah. We'll see you soon. Yeah. Even sooner on social, so go follow us there.